Hello, good morning friends. I know I can understand the excitement before the final paper. 24 तास राहिलेले आहेत बरोबर almost, and you all are excited that what will be the chemistry board paper. Okay, frankly speaking, it's a huge syllabus and little bit anxiety has to be there. Okay, so just don't worry about that. टेन्शन घ्यायचं नाही आहे, काळजी करायची नाही आहे. यू ऑल हॅव taken lots of efforts, lots of hard work you have done, and I'm sure, rather we are sure that you will definitely perform well in your final exams. Okay, so just take the review that what are the important questions just 24 hours before. Okay, you all know that there are 3 clear sections in chemistry: physical chemistry, inorganic chemistry and organic chemistry. Okay, सो सगळे क्वेश्चन्स तर नाही, पण एक लिस्ट जे इम्पॉर्टंट क्वेश्चन्सची आहे ती तुमच्यासमोर मी आत्ता चॅप्टर वाईज थोडीशी सांगण्याचा प्रयत्न करते, डिपेंडिंग ऑन विच टाईप ऑफ केमिस्ट्री आपण डिस्कस करूया. सो फर्स्ट इज फिजिकल केमिस्ट्री. यू ऑल नो दॅट देर आर 5 core chapters in physical chemistry. Okay, what are the questions for solid state? The well-known question is difference between crystalline solids and amorphous solid. I hope हा आला पाहिजे एक्झाममध्ये. HCP and CCP, that is a very important question. It can be for a long answer also. Similarly, find the number of the atoms depending on the crystal, whether it is BCC or simple cubic, like that. And one numerical will be definitely there on this part. Calculate the number of unit cells or calculate the molar mass. After that, in solid state, percentage of void, the MCQ will be asked, I think surely on this part. Relation between A and R, age, length and radius, depending on that type of the crystal. And last but not least, the important part is the types of defects. Okay, you all know the different types of defects like Fresnel defect, Schottky defect and all that. त्याचे डायग्राम्स तुम्हाला सगळ्यांना माहिती आहे, त्याचे कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक माहिती आहे. प्लीज रीड द एक्झाम्पल वेल. ओके, सो ऑल दिस विल बी द क्वेश्चन्स फ्रॉम सॉलिड स्टेट. लेट्स क्विकली मूव टुवर्ड्स द नेक्स्ट चॅप्टर, दॅट इज सोल्युशन. लिटल बिट न्यूमरिकल या सगळ्याच चॅप्टर्समध्ये आहेत. त्यातले कुठे नेमके यामध्ये न्यूमरिकल्स आय डेफिनेटली टेल यू. हेनरीज लॉ अँड रॉल्स लॉ. Most of the time the statement is asked on this Henry's law and Rawls law, or a numerical might be asked on this part. Ideal and non-ideal solution. What are the important features for this ideal and non-ideal solution? And my dear friend, most of the time the examples are asked on this part, that out of the following which will be the ideal solution, which will show the positive deviation or negative deviation depending on that type. Okay. Similarly, let's come to the biggest part of this chapter, that is colligative properties. As you know that there are 4 colligative property. So question will be define colligative property. What will be the second type of question? I have written here MCQ and derivation. Okay, most of the time the MCQ will be asked on this part, that out of the following the value of say delta TF is maximum in these equations or in this solution, sorry. ओके, किंवा मग ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर एखादं दिलेलं असेल आणि आउट ऑफ द फॉलोइंग विच शोज द लोवेस्ट ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर, द क्वेश्चन्स विल बी लाईक दॅट. ऑन ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर यू ऑल नो दॅट द पॉप्युलर क्वेश्चन्स आर हायपोटॉनिक सोल्युशन्स अँड हायपोटॉनिक सोल्युशन्स, आइसोटोनिक सोल्युशन्स. ओके, सो these are basic derivations or questions which will be asked on colligative properties. So I would suggest कि this is a purely objective part. आणि फार कॉन्सेप्च्युअल आहे जो तुम्ही आत्तापर्यंत चांगला केलेला असणार आहे. लेट्स क्विकली मूव टू द वन ऑफ द वॉट यू कॅन से इम्पॉर्टंट टॉपिक फॉर फिजिकल केमिस्ट्री, अँड दॅट इज थर्मोडायनॅमिक्स. क्लियर कट theory and numericals are suggested in this chapter. I'll just show you that. System and its type. The MCQ will be asked like out of the following which is a closed system or which is a open system, which is a isolated system. Okay, I think सगळ्यांना isolated systems example माहिती आहे, right? Intensive and extensive property. The very important part in this particular chapter is this कुठलं तरी एक्झाम्पल लाईक टेम्परेचर काय आहे किंवा बॉइलिंग पॉईंट काय आहे किंवा मास काय आहे, लाईक दॅट. आय एम शुअर तुम्ही हे सगळ्यांनी छान केलेलं असणार आहे. आफ्टर दॅट द डिफरन्स बिटवीन आयसोथर्मल अँड एडियाबॅटिक प्रोसेस. Then the first law of thermodynamics, a very critical part. What are the two types of questions normally asked? The statement of first law of thermodynamics and the numerical on its mathematical expression. Most of the time हे प्रश्न विचारले जातात. कधी कधी हा फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनॅमिक्स यू हॅव टू राईट फॉर द डिफरंट प्रोसेसेस. लाईक फॉर आयसोबारिक याचं काय एक्सप्रेशन असणार आहे, आयसोथर्मलसाठी काय असणार आहे, अँड सो ऑन. Then the important thing is expression for work done. My dear friends, let's be very clear की कुठलं एक्सप्रेशन विचारलंय, कोणतं न्यूमरिकल विचारलंय, सगळ्यांनी काळजी घ्यायची आहे. मला सांगायला नक्की आवडेल. इफ द क्वेश्चन इज सजेस्टिव्ह ऑफ अगेन्स्ट अ कॉन्स्टंट एक्सटर्नल प्रेशर, you have to derive this expression or apply this expression. If the numerical suggests that it is isothermal रिव्हर्सिबल प्रोसेस, रिव्हर्सिबल शब्द आला की तिथे काय यायला पाहिजे, मॅक्झिमम वर्क डनचं एक्सप्रेशन, त्याचं डेरिव्हेशन तुम्हाला येऊ शकतं, त्याच्यावर न्यूमरिकल तुम्हाला येऊ शकतो. अतिशय सुंदर यावर क्वेश्चन विचारला जातो. व्हेरी पॉप्युलर पार्ट फॉर थर्मोडायनॅमिक्स. येस. आफ्टर दॅट एन्थाल्पी अँड डेरिव्हेशन ऑफ डेल्टा एच. ओके, सगळ्यांना खूप छान एन्थाल्पी आणि त्याचं डेरिव्हेशन करता येतं. महत्त्वाचा पार्ट आहे हा. डेल्टा एच एफ आणि डेल्टा एच सी, heat of formation and heat of combustion. Either the MCQ will be asked. Okay, I hope you all know that delta HF and delta HC always suggest for 1 mole. Please लक्षात ठेवा सगळ्यांनी. सो त्याच्यावर न्यूमरिकल आलं की सगळ्यात पहिल्यांदा डेफिनेशन अप्लाय करायची. ओके, डिफाईनमध्ये डेल्टा एचचे वेगवेगळे टाईप्स येऊ शकतात. लाईक सब्लिमेशन इज देअर, लाईक ॲटोमायझेशन इज देअर, like enthalpy of ionization is there. So these are the different types of enthalpy. After that, my dear friends, yes, Hess law आणि thermodynamics आणि बोर्डाचा पेपर हे फार एकजीव झालेलं समीकरण आहे. सो आय विश दिस पार्ट वुड बी देअर. नॉर्मली यावर न्यूमरिकल विचारलं जातं. ओके, सो इम्पॉर्टंट पार्ट किंवा स्टेटमेंट विचारलं जातं, कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक विचारल्या जातात. ओके, and last but not least it is the bond enthalpy. Okay, bond enthalpy चे प्रॉब्लेम्स फार स्पेसिफिक आहेत. ओके, त्याचे न्यूमरिकल्स किंवा त्याचे डेफिनेशन्स त्याच्यामध्ये विचारल्या जातील. आणि अर्थात थर्मोडायनॅमिक्स कसा कंप्लीट होईल जर त्यामध्ये स्टेट फंक्शन आणि पाथ फंक्शन ही शब्द आली नाहीत तर. ओके, सो सगळ्यांनी याचा खूप छान अभ्यास डेफिनेटली केलेला आहे. आय विश की तुम्हाला सगळ्यांना थर्मोडायनॅमिक्स नक्की असाच येऊ. येस, आयोनिक इक्विलिब्रियम, अ व्हेरी शॉर्ट स्वीट चॅप्टर. ओके, अजिबात घाबरायचं नाही आहे चॅप्टरला. यामध्ये लिस्टमध्ये जे दिसतं आहे ऑफकोर्स फार कमी छोटी लिस्ट आहे. टाईप्स ऑफ ॲसिड अँड बेस. ओके, लॉरी ब्रॉन्स्टेड थेअरी, लुईस ॲसिड बेस थेअरी. आफ्टर दॅट pH अँड POH. यावर आयदर तुम्हाला फॉर्म्युला येईल, त्याचे न्यूमरिकल्स येतील, त्या pH आणि POH मधलं रिलेशन येईल. आय विश इतका सोपा क्वेश्चन तुम्हाला यावा. देन सोल्युबिलिटी अँड KSP. डिफाईन सोल्युबिलिटी, डिफाईन KSP, and you all know that there are 3 different types of solutions. Okay, three different types, like when it is saturated, when it is unsaturated, when it is supersaturated, like that. Okay, त्यानंतर येतो या चॅप्टरमध्ये बफर सोल्युशन, डिफाईन बफर, applications of buffer. Okay, example of buffer are the common questions which will be asked on this chapter. And lastly, the famous numerical is percentage dissociation. ओके, किंवा के काढा किंवा अल्फा काढा, वॉट एव्हर, त्याचा अर्थ तोच आहे. ठीक आहे, सो यावर तुम्हाला नॉर्मली या चॅप्टरमध्ये क्वेश्चन्स येतात. सो फार मी म्हणेन की ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह क्वेश्चन आहे. लेट्स गो टू द बिगेस्ट कॉन्सेप्च्युअल चॅप्टर. मोठा दिसायला नाही आहे पण भरपूर सारे क्लॅरिटी ज्याला लागते तो इलेक्ट्रोकेमिस्ट्री. अजिबात घाबरायचं नाही. हे सुंदर तुम्ही करून जा क्वेश्चन्स. तुम्ही केलेच आहेत पण मी सांगते. युनिट्स, कंडक्टिव्हिटी, मोलर कंडक्टिव्हिटी. ओके, कोलरॉश लॉ, त्याचं अप्लिकेशन, त्याचं स्टेटमेंट, त्याच्यावर येणारं न्यूमरिकल. ओके, इलेक्ट्रोलिसिस आणि इलेक्ट्रोलिसिससाठी असणारे फॅरेडेने सांगितलेले 2 इम्पॉर्टंट लॉज, फर्स्ट लॉ अँड सेकंड लॉ. आय एम शुअर या दोघांपैकी कुठेतरी तुम्हाला न्यूमरिकल किंवा स्टेटमेंट येईल. आफ्टर दॅट द गॅल्व्हॅनिक सेल. ओके, गॅल्व्हॅनिक सेलमध्ये त्याचं कन्स्ट्रक्शन कसं आहे, त्याच्या नेट सेल रिॲक्शन्स काय आहेत अँड सो ऑन. आणि या इलेक्ट्रोकेमिस्ट्रीमध्ये द वर्ल्ड फेमस क्वेश्चन इज EMF. ओके, सो EMF कॅल्क्युलेट करा किंवा EMF सिरीज याच्या बेसिसवर अनेक छान छान क्वेश्चन्स येतात. ओके, so this is all about, my dear friends, the important part of electrochemistry. Yes, few things I have highlighted here, like NICAD. Okay, you know that what is the storage cell, net cell reactions calculate, and the important part is SHE and salt bridge. So if you are lucky enough, you will have the diagram of SHE, you will have the diagram of salt bridge, or you will have its characteristic. Salt bridge मध्ये which material is used could be a possible MCQ. So this is all about the electrochemistry part. Yes, the most easy chapter from physical chemistry where students normally scores, they don't miss any mark, is chemical kinetics. Okay, order and molecularity, difference between order and molecularity, pseudo first order. Of course, I am just telling you the points, the question, either if it is a first 1 mark question, 2 mark question, depending on that, they might ask MCQ, they might ask define, they might ask characteristics. Okay, so pseudo first order. Then this I have highlighted as zero order and first order. On zero order and first order reactions, these 4 important points you can see: integrated rate law, expression, derivation, example that out of the following which shows first order reaction, which shows zero order reactions, MCQ based on this. Okay, and finally the numerical will be probably on the half life period. Okay, lastly the first part of this chapter, that is rate calculation. You all know from the given reaction you have to either calculate the rate of disappearance or rate of appearance of the product, rate of disappearance of the reactant. Okay, so that numerical is very easy. Okay, so these are the very few and sweet questions from chemical kinetics. Okay, now after physical chemistry, let's move to another section, and that is inorganic chemistry. I know whenever inorganic chemistry word is there, most of the time we get panic how to revise the whole syllabus. Just don't worry, you all have done excellent so far. So last 24 hours काही वेगळं करायचं नाहीये. Okay, just believe. Elements of group 16, 17 and 18. Trends are the common questions which will be asked either on 16, 17, 18, or if it is transition elements on that part. Oxidation state calculation and electronic configuration of the given element. Then types of allotropes. If it is sulfur, you have to write down on rhombic sulfur, like that. Okay. Laboratory or industrial preparation. My dear friends, I would suggest you that please go through all these industrial preparations. Okay, whatever name is there, like contact process असेल किंवा काही laboratory preparation असेल जे already तुम्ही केलेलं आहे, that is the questions which will be there on elements of group 16, 17. And the very important part is oxyacids. It could be oxyacids of sulfur, it could be oxyacids of halogens. Okay, so what will be the questions on oxyacid? Either the name of that oxyacid, structure of that oxyacid, or the oxidation state of that oxyacids. Okay, finally the important part is the interhalogen compounds. Okay, on this interhalogen compounds the question will be what is the geometry, what is the type of hybridization or the chemical properties of these interhalogen compounds. Okay, bond angle, wherever you find the bond angle, like suppose it is SO2, you should know the bond angle of SO2. Okay, and few reactions from this chapter I feel are very critical. For example, action of chlorine, cold or hot, NaOH or H2SO4, whatever it is. So these are the few specific reactions which you must have already done. Okay. After elements of group 16, 17 and 18, here comes the transition, inner transition elements. Okay. The beauty of inorganic chemistry is, as it is the theoretical part and as you have done it properly, okay, there are no chances that you will make the mistakes, okay, like in the numericals, like in the calculations. So you will surely score in this inorganic chemistry, okay, believe me. In transition and inner transition element, again the same question, atomic number and electronic configuration. The important thing is the exceptional behaviors, okay, exceptional behavior from that particular elements or whatever group that you have to just go through. Oxidation state are the common things which will be asked on this chapter also, okay, as it is the part of inorganic chemistry. Then magnetic behavior, if the given ion is paramagnetic or diamagnetic, for the same you have to explain whether it is a reducing agent or oxidizing agent, and you have to calculate the magnetic moment, which is again an important part, okay. So depending on that, I hope everyone knows how to calculate the magnetic moment, okay. And I have highlighted few things in these circles, okay, that is lanthanide contraction. It's very important part on this chapter. Interstitial compounds and different trends which I have suggested. Last but not least, the question will be differentiate between lanthanides and actinides, okay. So these are the common questions which will be asked, or important question from transition and inner transition element. Yes, the most beautiful chapter of chemistry is coordination compounds, very specific, okay. State the postulates of Werner theory. Definition, what is ligand, what is coordination number. Next is how to calculate effective atomic number, very popular question, or oxidation number. State the IUPAC name. Either the compound will be given, you have to tell the correct IUPAC name, or vice versa, okay. Then valence bond theory and its postulates, and based on that valence bond theory, the different compound, okay, their hybridization, whether these compounds are paramagnetic or diamagnetic, what is the geometry of all these compound are very, very important. Whatever is given in the textbook, that will be definitely asked, okay. And from this particular chapter, the highlighted part is isomerism. It is geometrical isomerism and optical isomerism for the coordination compounds, okay. So please go through that, okay. Yes, after inorganic chemistry now, the biggest worry for many students is the organic chemistry. Relax, okay, just relax, nothing is going to happen in organic chemistry, okay. At this moment, if you are not able to recall the reactions, then it's perfectly alright. Just don't worry that you are not able to recall the reactions, okay. So if that feeling is there, just don't worry. The reason is, when I was in my 12th standard, I had the same feeling, okay, and I was able to score out of marks. So हे सगळ्यांना feeling असतं की आपल्याला आठवत नाहीये, I am not able to recall, काही काळजी करायचं नाहीये. How I will help you for this organic chemistry? First of all, few important points is, go through all the reaction which is, I have put a question mark. You know what is the meaning of that question mark? That means I just want to tell here that go through all the reaction which is having the scientist name. For example, I have shown few reactions. Etard reaction, just don't worry from which chapter it is. अजिबात काळजी करायची नाही. These chapters are intermixed, so I'll not specify for alcohol, for aldehyde. अजिबात करायचं नाही आहे तसं, ओके. तुम्ही छान केलेलं आहे, मी फक्त हायलाइट करते, ओके. Etard reaction, Stephen reaction, Clemenson's reduction, Williamson synthesis, Hoffman, and whatever Hoffman has done so far, that is variety of reactions of Hoffman, Gabriel Thalamide, okay, and lastly the Hinsberg test. Similarly, whatever scientist name I have missed out, okay, please go through that. हे काही final नाही आहे, राईट. इतकेच असं मी म्हणलेलं नाही आहे, बट दिस इज अ गुड हेल्प दॅट जस्ट गो थ्रू दॅट क्विकली. So this is the first input I'll give you. Yes, few hot questions. म्हणजे they are like traditions. Okay. These questions are asked from years and years and years and years. Okay. What are those questions which are common? Like SN1 and SN2 mechanisms, optical activity, acidity of phenol or basicity of amines, aldol condensation, Cannizzarose reaction, electrophilic substitution reaction, nucleophilic substitution reaction, and finally 4 important aromatic compounds are there, if you can see on the board, that is haloarenes, then phenol, aldehyde, that is benzaldehyde, and aniline. Okay, all these 4 compounds, just find out what are the different points. Okay. That means a question could be like this, that chlorine is say orthoparadirecting or activating or deactivating. Such questions will be asked for this particular groups, and depending on that the reactions like bromination, that is halogenation, nitration, sulfonation, okay, Friedel-Crafts reaction, these are the common points for all these aromatic compounds. Okay. Yes. Physical properties and uses, like uses of phenol, like uses of alcohol. Okay, so these are the common questions. Physical properties, that what is the solubility of that particular compound, say what will be the order of boiling point for alcohols, what will be the boiling point, order of boiling point for alcohol, then phenol, then carboxylic acid. So हे सगळे common questions based on the physical properties विचारले जातात. Okay. Method of preparation and chemical reaction, that is the soul of all the chapters, but it's impossible to guide and rather wrong to guide at this moment, because you all have done it already. Okay. So because when we say method of preparations, 5 to 6 method of preparations are there. If I write it on this board, it will be difficult for you. Okay, कारण तुम्ही तेवढंच करणार, सो तुम्ही आत्तापर्यंत केलंय, just believe. Okay. Conversions, how you will convert the given compound in X, Y, Z, whatever given. So conversions is based on this method of preparations and chemical reactions. Okay. Yes, my dear friends, biomolecules, polymers and nanochemistry, all these are scoring chapter. If you just follow the question bank, okay, or if you just see the questions from the textbook, I think it will be more than enough. Okay, आणि तुम्ही ऑलरेडी ते केलेलं आहे, सो आता वेगळं काही त्याच्यावर मी सांगणार नाही आहे. छोटे छोटे चॅप्टर्स आहे, पण they all are very scoring chapters. Okay, so please don't miss the marks on these 3 chapters, right? तुमचं बाकी, even if you know thermodynamics well, okay, but still if you know how nylon 6 is prepared, then definitely you will never lose the marks on this nylon 6. Okay, so all these 3 chapters are scoring chapter, आणि आपल्याला काळजी घ्यायची की अजिबात त्यावर आपण काही मिस करणार नाही आहे. ओके, फायनली द टिप्स फॉर युअर पेपर. ओके, जस्ट स्टे कूल अँड काम. मी परत एकदा सांगते की केमिस्ट्री आणि एवढा मोठा सिलेबस, सो लॉट्स ऑफ एन्झायटी, पॅनिकिंग अजिबात करायचं नाही आहे, बरोबर? नो, व्यवस्थित झोप घ्यायची आहे आणि छान व्यवस्थित जेवायचे पेपरच्या आधी, बरोबर? ओके, आधी म्हणजे झोप घ्यायची, जेवण करायचं आहे, राईट? अँड ट्रस्ट युअर सेल्फ दॅट यू ऑल हॅव डन इनफ हार्डवर्क. ओके, खूप छान तुम्ही आत्तापर्यंत सगळं केलं आहे आणि दॅट विल बी डेफिनेटली कन्वर्टेड इन टू द एक्सलंट मार्क्स. ओके, so my dear friends, bless all of you and all the best for your chemistry paper. Okay, मस्त पेपर द्या, छान पेपर द्या आणि मला सांगा कसा गेला आहे. ठीक आहे? ओके, चलो बाय बाय, ऑल द बेस्ट.